Hey there guys, it's Salis. And now that we're nearly halfway through Salis' season of spooky shit, I think it's about time we dove into that wretched hive of scum and villainy known only as the Xbox Live Indie Games section. And we'll start with this. This is a visual novel style of game called A Madman's Guide to Happiness. And, forewarning, I actually had to play through this ahead of time to get a transcript of all the things so I can read them to you, but hopefully that won't diminish the not very scary nature of this game. Let's dive right in. You are the first officers to arrive at the scene. Strange noises were reported, then screaming. You see a body hanging from the ceiling. Suicide. The computer is still on. You check it for clues. It's filled with rantings and encrypted files, but it claims that whoever gains access to these files will gain the secret to happiness. You begin to click. Right, let's open file 1 since everything else is locked. Puzzle 1. Complete to unlock the next file. The princess loves her little bows with all her little heart. Out of the 4 colours she chooses the blue one. You have 4 colours in front of you too. If you choose the blue one, you can unlock this file. Okay, press blue. That works. It took you a long time to reach here from your magic tower, princess. Your blessed feet still battered and filthy from that wretched wood with its corrupt streams and its trees that whisper their putrid secrets into your precious ears. Your clear eyes still dulled and lifeless from the eons spent in that dark, damp tower that gave you not a one drop of daylight's playful majesty. Your little wrists, oh, your little wrists, still scratched and swollen from the rusty, disease-ridden shackles they forced upon you to prevent your escape to a better place where they could not keep you in their perverted, vulture-like eyes. Your tongue so dry from the dirt they tried to force down you like water. But you have escaped now, and it will all be made better. For I have found the secret of happiness, and with it, all dark memories will fade away and be replaced with nothing but gardens of crystal flowers and butterflies that sing on command. And sing they shall, sweet princess. This guy is hardline crazy. There are 2 parts you must understand, princess. The first is what it is that has prevented you from achieving happiness, the great enemy, if you will. Not just your happiness, but my happiness, and the happiness of everyone in the world, even the animals and the plants that have had their happiness stunted by this blacksmith of misery. Then, when you know your opponent, you must understand the second, how to defeat them. You may have to rip out their intestines, you may have to gouge out their eyes. And while this may be hard and straining for your little hands, princess, the chalice of happiness is so full to the brim with sweet nectar and strawberry bits that it will be more than adequate compensation. But I must test you, for revealing the secret of happiness to a dim mind is like trying to discuss philosophy with a crab. Okay, that's creepy. But I'm honestly more freaked out by the fact that that is clearly a picture. Okay, it's a warping picture, so technically it's a GIF, but it's labelled random.txt. What kind of freaky computer does this guy own? Let's open file 2 and find out. The princess did very well escaping from the tower, but it was a harsh journey. It would have taken her 1 hour to reach me, but her legs were broken, so it took her double this time, and her arms were broken, so the time was doubled again, and her mind was broken, In other words, she's dead. So it was doubled yet again. But the wind blew in the right direction, which got her here 16 times faster than her broken little body and mind should have been able to. How long did it take her? Oh, really? Maths? You're making me do math? To the calculator. Okay, best guess, half an hour. Yes! Listen. The enemy binds not just you or I, but the frog, the worm, the germ, the leafy plants, and on into infinitum. It works its magics now. It has worked them in the past, and it will work them in the future. It is faceless and unloving, but it does not hate either. Despite holding back the chalice of happiness from us, we should not hate it, for it gave us everything we have now. To hate it would be like hating our own parents. But we must fight it, for a life living off nothing but an occasional lick of condensation from the chalice is no life at all. Do not fear fighting it, for even if you bloody it, it will not care, nor will it feel anything at all. Your first and only clue to the enemy is little monkeys. I'm not punching monkeys. I've already made this abundantly clear. Monkeys are too cool to punch. I used to be sad and cut my own wrists. I used to be mad and sliced my own veins. I used to be bad and tore my own skin. But then, I became happy. Okay, so apparently the best clue we've got is that this was written by Thing from the Addams Family. I laughed till I puked up blood. Classy! Stranger Thing was in file 3. I hear floorboards creaking behind me. Turn around. There's no one here. Smile for me, princess. Lovely. Oh god, it's that creepy doll again. The princess's mind has been shattered like a beautiful glass whale because of her ordeal. Can you count how many triangles her mind is shattered into? Remember, there are larger triangles made up of several smaller ones. Well, yeah, everyone knows that. This puzzle's been going on for years, and everyone always gets it eventually. Right, give him a quick count. Yep, that looks right. Hey, evolution. Evolution is the enemy that we must fight, but also that which we must love, because it brought us into being, and how can you not love it? It has so many lovely little monkeys. You seek to know why it only lets us sip at the chalice rather than gulp? Let me explain. Evolution is a system based on survival. The fittest survive, the strongest survive, and the fastest survive. The surviviest survive. If you took one of the little deers, filled them up with happy pills, how long do you think it would survive, drugged up against a tree giggling to itself? If it had happiness given to it on a plate, it would be munching down upon it no matter how many lions or T-Rexes brought their fangs down upon it. For any individual species back then, getting hold of euphoria is a free ticket to death, thanks to the system we know as evolution. Evolution cannot abide total happiness. Evolution will let you sip at the chalice when you do something that benefits your survival, or your species' survival. When you have sex, when you eat, and when you rest. It was a good system. We were monkeys. We would have died in the wild without these incentives. But these are only tiny fleeting moments in our lives. Why can't these moments last forever, rather than being restricted to end of a task which benefits survival? Evolution, you have served us well, but we are no longer monkeys. For the sake of my beloved princess, I must kill you. Like how a chick must be thankful to its shell for protecting it, but must ultimately destroy it to join the world. I do not care if you decide to crush me, for I am a monster who chose to kill his own eggshell. This guy is getting weirder by the day. I love my little friends, but I need help to count them. Which section has the most two-legged spiders? Even if just part of their sexy legs is in the section, you must count that as a spider. Right. Let's see. In the bottom section, there's quite a few of them. We're in. As the birthed creatures of evolution, which is of such nature that it could not allow us to taste unlimited happiness without destroying us, it is now up to us and no one or nothing else to rise up and take our much-needed euphoria. Now you know your opponent. You must know how to defeat it. The answer and explanation is this. We must remove ourselves from evolution. We must remove ourselves from its factors and cycles and situations and forests. Humans have already begun to see this, and we have begun to move ourselves forward slowly. The scientists have seen this, and they begin to create new drugs to dispel pain and turn depression into happiness. The religious have seen this, and they strive for their place in paradise after death. The philosophers have seen this, and they peek into the well of happiness through thought. All noble warriors, but it is not enough. There is something much closer to us we need to do. Something more basic, intuitive, that tugs on the threads of our very being. Precious little monkeys live precious little lives. Precious little lives eat precious little monkeys. It's precious to eat monkeys' little lives. Okay, file 5. A wide-eyed detective who would hang himself several years later walked into a crime scene. That's hitting rather close to home, isn't it? There were 4 bodies lying on the ground, and it looked like they had been killed by a pack of dogs. Each body had one limb ripped off that must have been taken away by the pack. Aside from the 4 human remains, there are the remains of 2 dogs fully intact at the scene. How many limbs are at the scene? Okay, so if each human has 3, each dog has 4, plus the detective, because he's there too. So that would be 24. Well done. Not many would have thought to count the detective's limbs as well. This is a dead spider. They have 8 limbs. Greedy, and a bit selfish of them. I am not impressed. We have the science, will, and intelligence to grasp that damned chalice, at the very least, collectively. Why then do we not simply take it? The answer is this. We lack the power. For everything we have, we are no more than walking babies, because we lack power. And the reason we lack power is because, to our shame, we simply gave it away. We are the primary point at which our thoughts and feelings are created, and we have great power to bend and twist them to our will. Yet shamefully, repulsively even, we not only don't acknowledge this, but we project our power onto inanimate objects that not only don't have power, but they would not even care if they did. Observe. A rock falls on a man's foot and he feels pain. The foolish man blames the rock and throws fits of anger while screaming about how the rock has ruined his day. The wise man realizes that while the rock is responsible for his pain, he is angry because he has allowed himself to become angry. Knowing that he is responsible for his anger, he realizes he, not the rock, has the power to turn it on and off. It's all about empowerment, self-empowerment. If you never realize you have the power over your own happiness, you are no more than a leaf in the wind, at the mercy of any pixie that cares to grab you. How pitiful is the man who claims his lunch is ruined because he has the wrong type of sandwich. Well, I'd complain if I had the wrong type of sandwich. And spends the rest of his days sulking in the office. How strong and radiant is the man who realizes his unhappiness is due to his own failings, swallows the sandwich in a single mighty gulp, and then dances on his desk. One is weak, one is strong. One is sad and one is happy. We can have the power because of our intellect. Our intelligence is our great strength against evolution. Because, for as powerful as evolution is, it lacks intelligence. It does not know that we know of its smothering evil ways. Once we have the power and use that power, we can overcome the unhappiness that evolution has caused us. I have a story to tell you in the next and final file.
Get out. This was meant for her precious little eyes, not yours.
Okay, crazy guy. And thanks for calling me a thief. I'd rather be playing that right now, actually. Shit. Stupid, naive, weak, witless hope. Puzzle 6, complete to unlock next file. All you have to do is shoot the bad man. Okay. Was the man you just murdered really a bad man, though? And even if he was, did his mum, wife, son, friends deserve to suffer for his sins? I didn't shoot them yet. He can never laugh again. He can never dream again. He can never hug again. Murderers are like the gods of never. He liked to hug people with this arm. He was a right-handed guy. I want to know why I shot him in the chest and not in the head. Get them in the head, they go down quicker. Everyone knows that. Here is my story, sweet princess. Once upon a time in a land far, far away, when you were very young, me and the queen lived with you in happiness and peace. But then one day, a demon seduced the queen from me, and she took you to go and live with the demon in the tower. I tried to get you back many times. Many, many times. But eventually the demon got his little friends with their loud metal dragons that flashed blue lights to carry me away. The king was sad. The king blamed the demon, but this did nothing. The king blamed the demon's friends, but this did nothing. The king blamed the queen, but this did nothing. The king even blamed you, but this did nothing. Then eventually the king realized that he was to blame. When he realized that not only he had the power to ultimately stop him from being sad, he gained power. The king used that power to kill one of the devil's friends. It was a wonderful thing. The king was no longer sad, and instead the queen was sad. She felt guilty and left the devil, and often took the princess to see the king in his new home called Asylum. But the king could only stay in Asylum for so many years. He was worried that when he had to leave that, the queen would no longer feel guilty and come see him. So thoughts consumed him and twisted his mind with fear until he took a rope with the intent to take his life. That means kill himself, my princess. And so I have the rope in my hands, and I have finished the guide to allow you to be happy. There is nothing left. Okay, there's the file. No puzzles this time. Sorry. This note is not for the princess, but for the person who is reading this document. I just couldn't do it. I could never hang myself. The thought of not seeing the queen and the princess again was too much. So I used a little more power. I hung the devil instead, so they would let me back into Asylum. And I'm hiding in the room now, waiting for someone to read this document, so I can kill them from behind, just to make super sure they let me into Asylum again. I wish you the best of happiness, and I'm so sorry. Oh crap. So apparently, did it. Well, that was a very weird look into the Xbox Live Indie Game section. And apparently this is who it was made by. So thank you for watching A Madman's Guide to Happiness. And honestly, I don't know what to make of it. That is weird. But oh well. Until tomorrow, I've been Salis. This has been A Madman's Guide to Happiness. And I will see you next time.